I see you. I see.
I bring it down like.
I see you. I see.
I bring it down like.
Lofi Poli Sci, Michael Pickering bringing it down Lo-Fi Live with what's going on in the world today. And straight to it. Dig it? A former Prime Minister of Thailand, Thaksin Shinawatra, who was in exile from the country for 15 years, returned to Thailand as his political party secured the new prime ministership. So hooray, everything's going to be great, right? Well, the returning prime minister was arrested right after he arrived in the country, brought to court and sentenced to 8 years. Like that. And there's so many moving parts here. Where to begin? Other than, is this a trend? Former prime ministers being arrested and going to jail, being sentenced to prison terms? Eyes open on that, people. Anyway. So Thailand had a military coup back in 2014 that overthrew this former prime minister's political party. The military junta lasted from 2014 to 2019. And then in 2019, the military commander turned civilian, went up for elections and became the prime minister of the country. Go figure. From 2019 to 2023. Then elections happened this spring, and the military party lost. The old party that was overthrown by the military wins. And their former party leader returns to the country after being in exile and is immediately arrested. And yes, people, this is for real. Like I always say, Hollywood doesn't have to make things up. The world of global political intrigue is always ripe with stories like this. We'll let you know what happens next, though. Things are moving fast in Thailand. Now, election updates. We don't have election results for everywhere, but for Guatemala, we do. The Guatemala election results for President RNN Bernardo Arevalo wins with 58% of the vote and takes office in January. And that's a pretty clean win as far as the margin of victory goes. But it's also not so much that it causes a suspicion. You know what I mean? But since the president doesn't take office until January, I think it's too early to tell what exactly is going to happen next in Guatemala. Stay tuned, my friends. Stay tuned. Now, back to a returning segment I like to call Oil and Pirates of the World, because yes, pirates still exist. The U.S. and Iran edition of Pirates of the Caribbean happens to be Pirates of the Gulf. You see, over the past several years, these two have gone back and forth stealing ships from each other and stealing ships from other countries and like for real, new age pirates. I'm not even joking here. Kind of wish I was, though. So, there was an Iranian ship that, it appears, the U.S. stole, aka pirated, commandeered, whatever you want to call it. And that Iranian ship has Iranian oil on it, which the U.S. has a trade embargo against Iran and Iranian oil. But now, that ship is in the Gulf of Mexico, right off the coast of Texas, and it's offloading its oil onto another ship in a ship-to-ship transfer of oil on the high seas of pirated Iranian oil in the Gulf of Mexico, off the coast of the U.S. Again, Hollywood doesn't have to make stuff up, people. So the news organization, the AP News or Associated Press, is running an investigation on this and trying to figure out who's offloading that pirated oil. And they're calling people, they're emailing them company after company, and they are getting nowhere. It's as if no one is offloading the pirated oil. And Iran, well, they are not happy at all about this, to say the least. I mean, new age piracy, people think that piracy is only online, but obviously, countries are still playing pirates too. Now, let's go on over to Africa with updates in Niger, and finally also a bit of an explainer for you about what's going down, and especially explaining these newest developments. So Niger just recently had a military coup. And the Economic Community of West African States, known as ECOWAS, is threatening to invade the country with an international military force if the military junta doesn't return power to the former president. And now, the African Union has officially suspended Niger from the organization. So the question, why do so many African countries finally care that another military coup is taking place in Africa? Question mark. Why is ECOWAS and the African Union finally getting involved? Answer: because they're scared. Mali, Chad, Guinea, now Niger, and several other attempted coups in other countries. There is a pattern of military coups taking place, and several of them being successful in implementing hardcore military juntas. And no one is doing anything about it. And finally, though, ECOWAS and the African Union, they're realizing that we have been saying this all along, this is a trend. The longer you keep allowing this to happen, the more it will happen. Because you see, it tells would-be coup leaders, military generals, that they can overthrow governments, and no one's going to do anything about it. They can become a military dictator and get their own country to be king of. ECOWAS and the African Union, those leaders are scared their countries could be next. So they're stepping up and stepping in and saying, oh, but no, this will not stand. So stay tuned, my friends. Stay tuned. And a last piece of something to send you on your way for the day, for the week. A not-so-heavy headline for you. Do you like video games? You ever played Mario? Mario Kart, Mario World, Super Mario, Mario Brothers, Dr. Mario, you know what we mean, Mario. Well, the voice of Mario is retiring after almost 3 decades, and they're going on tour around the world for Nintendo to promote Mario everywhere because, well, why not? They're officially becoming and this is a quote, people, a real job title, a Mario ambassador. And again, because why not? Why not? You can't make this stuff up. And to this I say, why not give me this job? I mean, for real, I've been playing Mario forever. And I love Mario, and I would for sure be a Mario ambassador. Oh, I wish. But hey, we all gotta have dreams, right? But that's just a snap of what's going on in the world today.
I bring it down like.
Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Pickering, signing off.